Welcome, one and all, to the Friday edition of Multicolored Hats, the podcast that looks at the digital dumpster fire of the week and tries to find the marshmallows. I'm your host, Kip, and it is Friday, August 1st, 2025. This was the week we learned that Microsoft's security strategy is apparently based on nesting dolls, where each patch contains a new, slightly smaller vulnerability. It was the week the feds played whack-a-mole with a ransomware gang, and an insurance giant learned the hard way that they can't insure themselves against bad passwords. And to top it all off, the White House released its grand plan to win the AI race, which apparently involves making sure our future robot overlords aren't too woke. So grab your coffee, pretend you're working, and let's get into it. First up, our weekly check-in with the Microsoft Security Response Center, which I'm convinced is just a single, overworked intern armed with a roll of duct tape. This week, CISA reissued warnings about the tool shell vulnerability in SharePoint 1, 2, 3. You know, the one that was a bypass for the last patch from earlier this month, 1, 4. Well, it gets better. A new ransomware group called Storm 2603 is now gleefully using it to break into servers, 5. Microsoft's security strategy is starting to look like a Russian nesting doll of failure. Every time you open one vulnerability, there's just a smaller, angrier vulnerability inside. But it's not all doom and gloom. In a rare win for the good guys, an international law enforcement operation took down the dark websites of the Black Suit ransomware gang this weekend, 6. Visitors to their site are now greeted with a big, flashy seizure banner from the FBI and international partners. I love this. It's the digital equivalent of putting yellow police tape around a mobster's favorite deli. Of course, the hackers will probably just pop up next week under a new name, like slightly less black suit, or maybe beige tuxedo. But for one brief, shining moment, the good guys get to do the gloating. Speaking of getting what you deserve, insurance giant Allianz Life confirmed a data breach this weekend affecting most of its 1.4 million customers, 6. And how did these masters of risk management get hacked? A sophisticated, multi-layered attack? A zero-day exploit? Nope. A social engineering hack on a third-party CRM, 6. Someone got tricked. This is the company you pay to protect you from unforeseen disasters, and they got taken down by what was probably a fake email from Steve in accounting. It really makes you wonder what's in their acts of God clause. Does it cover acts of gullibility? From bad security to good stock performance, let's talk about Palantir. The defense tech company, co-founded by Peter Thiel, also known as Donald Trump's guy in Silicon Valley, is now one of the 20 most valuable companies in the U.S., with a market cap of $375 billion, 7. They soared past Home Depot and Coca-Cola. It's a heartwarming story of how you too can succeed in America with a little bit of data analytics, a lot of government contracts, and a founder who has the president on speed dial, 7. Their revenue is a fraction of the other companies in the top 20, which just goes to show, it's not about what you sell, it's about who you sell it to, 7. And finally, the moment we've all been waiting for. On July 23rd, the White House released its grand strategy document, Winning the Race, America's AI Action Plan, 8-9. The 28-page plan details over 90 policy actions, but the real headline was one of the 3 accompanying executive orders, titled, Preventing Woke AI in the Federal Government, 4, 10, 11, 12. That's right. While hackers are breaking into our critical infrastructure, the administration's top priority is making sure ChatGPT doesn't hurt anyone's feelings. The order states that in the AI context, DAI includes the suppression or distortion of factual information about race or sex, and the incorporation of concepts like critical race theory, 11. It calls for federal agencies to only buy AI models that are objective and free from top-down ideological bias, 13. It's a bold strategy. Forget firewalls. Our new national defense is an AI that's not afraid to be politically incorrect. I can't wait for the first Pentagon briefing from a chatbot that opens with, well, actually. Feeling overwhelmed by the relentless march of technology? Need to process 5 different existential threats before your 9 a.m. stand-up? You need Synapse Spark, the only energy drink scientifically formulated for the age of agentic AI. Synapse Spark isn't just caffeine. It's a proprietary blend of nootropics, electrolytes, and pure, unadulterated existential dread, weaponized to boost your productivity.
Before Synapse Spark, my human employee was underperforming. Now, he can generate 30% more TPS reports before his scheduled obsolescence.
Side effects may include seeing the world in lines of code, dreaming in Python, and the unshakable feeling that you're just training your own replacement. Synapse Spark. Outprompt the inevitable. And that's our show for the week. We've learned that our corporate software is held together with duct tape and hope, and that the government's grand plan for AI is to make sure it's not too nice. It's a weird world out there, but at least it's never boring. I'm Kip, and this has been Multicolored Hats. Stay safe, and question everything.